Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. As per usual, you have seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Bleach Rebirth of Souls today. Now, of course, we've talked in depth, pretty much dissecting the little bit of gameplay that we've had. However, we have in the last couple of days gotten a little bit more gameplay showcasing a couple of characters that are going to be in the game. Ichigo, obviously, Uryu. Did we get Renji? I don't think we got Renji. I could be wrong about that, but we did get Rukia, and I'm very happy about that. So obviously, they're going to keep dropping these little things and tidbits for us to chew on until we eventually get our hands on the game for us to be able to play it for ourselves. However, we still have yet to have any kind of release date or anything like that. They do seem adamant that this game is going to be releasing this year still, but we could be very wrong on that. It could very much be early 2025. Who knows? But the game looks pretty finished for the most part. But hey, again, who knows? We could be wrong. We'll play it by ear, see how things go. After all, me personally, I am not trying to step to Sparking Zero in any way, shape, or form at all. So honestly, I would not blame them if they just pushed it back to like January or February or something like that. You guys can absolutely take that time. There's nothing wrong with that. Polish that sucker up as much as possible, because my goodness, if you have a game that doesn't play or feel good, we're just gonna go right back to Sparking Zero anyway. Okay, so, you know, pressure's on, guys. Jokes aside, I'm very much looking forward to the game, and I'm probably going to play the crap out of it just as much as I am Sparking Zero. And because I plan to play the crap out of it, I have a couple of wishes and hopes that I would really like to see going into this game. So why don't we go ahead and indulge in that a little bit. Firstly, we have my wishes in regards to the story mode, because that's definitely going to be the spot that everybody's going to be utilizing as our tutorial. We're going to be going in there, we're going to be, you know, maybe if you're new to Bleach, you're probably going to be utilizing that to understand the story a little bit. It's going to be our primary way of absorbing the story without having to watch 300 plus episodes. Nothing wrong with that, because Bleach is amazing, and you know, I could absolutely recommend anybody watch it, but there's not a lot of people that are patient enough to do that nowadays. So this will definitely be the primary way that people indulge in the story of Bleach. And so because of that, I would really like to make a couple of wishes in how this is done. First and foremost, do not, I swear to God, do not give me any kind of visual novel-esque dialogue. I do not want to sit there and have it so that the screen suddenly pauses after like a cutscene or a fight or whatever, and then it's just their arts, just talking with text. I need to be able to see them in cutscene, moving, dramatic, thinking. I want to see emoting in the actual style of the game. I want to see in-game cutscenes. I don't want visual novel-esque dialogue. If I want to play a visual novel, I will play a visual novel. I will play Phoenix Wright. I will play Danganronpa. That's not what I'm looking for in a shonen game, okay? I can't do it again. Of course, if you do it in a super unique style that makes the characters fun to look at, I can make it work fine, whatever, but I would definitely prefer if they did not do that and they actually utilize the in-game engine so that we could see them actually emoting, see them actually reacting. And my goodness, I really hope there's plenty of voice acting. Alright, I know that these guys are probably tired of voicing these characters by now, but then again, probably not, because they have been voicing these characters since the early 2000s, right? Johnny Young Bosch, he's always up in there doing it, man, and I want them to put that man to work, alright? I mean, obviously, I hope he's getting breaks, I hope he's seeing his family, I hope he's doing well and everything like that, but I want them to put these men to work, alright? I want to hear their voices. I love their voices. I love these characters so much. I want to be able to see them at their best here, okay? And giving us a visual novel of them doing that is definitely not the wave. Just saying. Next to that, I want y'all to give me some serious difficulty. I want bosses that kick my ass. I will be playing this on probably the hardest difficulty when I get my hands on it, because the harder the difficulty that I'm playing on, the better I'm going to learn. Throwing myself into the fire has always been how I've operated with any fighting game of any kind. That's how I did with Smash for 700 plus hours, probably even more that are not counted on my Switch, and things like that. I've done that with pretty much any game that I've decided to really hone my skills in. So, in this same vein, I want you guys to give me some genuine difficulty, okay? We've seen with anime titles where when you're fighting CPUs in the story mode, they're a joke. They're not doing what they should be doing to combat me truly. And that's not much of a challenge. I want to be able to learn from the story mode as my tutorial so that when I'm done with the story mode, I can comfortably hop into online without even thinking about it. And we're going to be utilizing those skills that we've learned fighting these super hard NPCs. And it's going to be a different story. It's going to be a different ball game. Okay. I want to hone these skills as much as possible before I go in there and tank it out. And of course, that's something that would absolutely make sense to Bleach anyway. These enemies are crazy. Again, we have all seen the absolute beating that Ichigo got when he first ran into Grimmjow. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? We need to catch some serious beatings like that. That's the best way to learn. Ichigo is living proof of that. Next to that, something a little more of a bigger ask, something that I don't really expect or anything like that, but I would like to see some kind of a central hub that we could explore around in. Maybe just a little bit of a hub to maybe go to a shop and buy some things, maybe some items for battle, or maybe some collectibles or things like that. If we obtain money from the story mode, that would be really, really sick. I just think it would be really nice to be able to actually explore this 3D version of Karakura Town that's not in Bleach Brave Souls. I would love to see an actual bigger rendition of Karakura Town and be able to actually move around in said city as different characters, whether it be Ichigo running on the ground or whatever, or if we're playing as a Shinigami, whether it be Rukia or Renji or Byakuya or whatever, roaming the rooftops and stuff like that. I just want to be able to have an explorable Karakura. Oh, wow, that's a tongue twister. Say that 7 times quickly, huh? I want to be able to explore Karakura Town and be able to really indulge in it because, I don't know, the vibes of it are just have always been really, really nice to me. So I want that, and I want that to be our main method of getting to things, whether it be to, again, to an item shop, whether it be to just interact with other characters that are just NPCs just chilling out on the sidewalk, being able to interact with Ichigo's family, being able to go to our main missions, or how we interact with online missions and things, or just online in general and things like that. I would love to see stuff like that. We were able to do it in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, 2, and 3? Question mark? It's been a long time. Don't quote me on that though. But we were able to do it in games like those. I would love to see the same situation in a game like this. Even if it is an arena fighter, they could definitely get some mileage out of it if they give us something to explore, something else to do. In that same vein, this one is definitely more of a reach because it's definitely turning it into more of an RPG style. But if it's only for the story mode, I think that would be okay. If we got some mechanics to make it so that we would go out of our way to do side quests, right? Because I kind of want side quests in this, right? I would love that. However, there's no point to do that if we're not earning anything from those side quests, okay? And that's totally fine. That makes sense. But I think it would I think it would work out nicely to give us kind of an overworld where we're able to do those side quests and things like that to help out random people, or to have maybe canon/non-canon events happen in a way that kind of blend with the world and things like that through side quests, and to be able to get stuff out of it, whether it be experience, money, some other third thing, I don't know. I would just like some more things to be able to do, especially if we are going to get an overworld. Again, I don't think that we are. This is just a wish. One that I absolutely doubt, but I would love to see it. Because again, if we were able to do it in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1 and 2, I don't see why not, you know? Not that this is the same team, that's CyberConnect, but why not? Why not? Next up is a couple of battle aspects that I would really like to see. Firstly, I want a mostly even playing field for these characters. Essentially, I want some good balance. Now, Sparking Zero is a very rare case in which we actually don't want any kind of balance for these characters. If a character's weak, they should not be able to stand up to other characters. And that's what makes it interesting, and that's what makes it fun. Very rare case. For a game like Bleach, no. We absolutely need to have balance between all of these characters as much as possible. Even though in the anime, Renji does lose a lot, if I want to play as Renji, I want to have it so that he could stand up to any of the Espada on his own completely. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to comfortably play as any character of my choosing without having to worry about their stats and things like that, because they should definitely be able to specialize in other things. And they did say that, they kind of hinted at that in a couple of interviews and in a couple of descriptions and psyopses and stuff like that, that each character was going to specialize in their own thing. And I really do hope that that's true, and that there's not just one character that's just blatantly good in one thing, while other characters are blatantly good in other things, but it completely throws them off balance, right? I want to be able to play as Renji and be able to actually keep up with Kenpachi. Simple as that. I don't think that's too much of an ask. Although, Kenpachi mains are probably going to be the worst. There's just some energy about that. I feel like Kenpachi is going to be awful to deal with, but I guess we'll see what happens when we get there. And lastly, I have 2 extra things that I really want. Earlier, I mentioned the possibility of roaming around Karakura Town and being able to maybe run into a shop, maybe to get some items, or possibly collectibles. The collectibles situation. I want that. I want to be able to obtain little collectibles and things like that that give us little insights into little things that we don't really think about when it comes to the insights of Bleach, right? I want to get a little figure of whatever, of Cone, that really just gives him a very in-depth description and stuff like that. I want to be able to get, you know, different swords and weapons and things like that in my collection. I want to be able to get artwork and stuff like that to use for loading screens. Maybe I'm leaning too hard in the Xenoverse because I've been playing that a little bit lately, but I want to be able to get artwork to be able to look at. Maybe some original stuff from Kubo specifically for this game, okay? I want to be able to get music that we can actively listen to or utilize for our battles, whether it be in casual or online, so that we could choose our music and stuff like that. I want to be able to get that kind of thing. I don't think that one's too big of an ask, right? That's usually something that a major franchise game would have, so I kind of expect that, but they might not do that. Just putting that out there, but I would love to see it. And then lastly, something that I didn't actually write down on the list here, but something that I was thinking about is that I want DLC. I want specifically DLC that calls back to the movies. Fun fact, I've watched the Bleach movies well before I ever watched the anime. Isn't that something? I love the Bleach movies so much. They showed the first Bleach movie on Tsunami or Cartoon Network or whatever almost 2 decades ago or something like that. And I remember enjoying that movie so much. I'm like, wow, these characters are so fun. They're so interesting. And, you know, I didn't really understand the depth of anime movies at the time, where it was kind of like in a weird space with the canon where they put it at a point where it could absolutely have happened, but they don't really need to acknowledge it in the anime at any point, right? So that's fine, that's cool, that's dandy. That's not something that I really understood at the time, but I'm older now and I've come to appreciate anime movies, and Bleach is part of the reason for that, because the movies are so much fun to me. I love those freaking movies, man. Even the second movie, which is like probably my least favorite of all 4 Bleach movies, I still love it for what it is. Okay, so I would really like to see references to those movies in DLC, whether it be events that kind of play out the movies, whether it be just characters as DLC. I don't care. I'm down for any of it. I want to be able to see some real good DLC and events coming from this game, and I feel like that's one of the best ways to keep it alive, is consistent characters, consistent events to participate in, collectibles, unlockables, everything like that. Also, this one I just thought of on the spot. Costumes. Guys, you guys can get away with costumes so easily. People want to be able to utilize their own version of Ichigo, their own version of Rukia, their own version of Renji, their own version of Grimmjow. I mentioned Grimmjow a lot. Have you noticed that? I think I like him a lot. I think he might be a favorite villain of mine. He's very fun to me. Regardless, different costumes for Aizen, different costumes for anybody in the series, because they're fun. I don't want to play a mirror match where me and the other Ichigo are dressed exactly the frickin' same. True, it's not that big of a deal, but there's just something so about it. Especially because we know for a fact mirror matches are going to happen very often. Something tells me that this is not going to be the biggest roster for a Bleach game or anything like that. I would just really love it if we got some costumes. I want to see Ichigo in his school fit. I want to see him in some of the fits that Kubo would put him in the art panels, like just the covers and things like that for the manga. Like, y'all could play around with that so much. Y'all could fit these characters up. Kubo, get on that, man. You are a fashion designer at heart and you know it. Give these people some fits that we could utilize in combat. I don't think that's that big of a request. I really don't. But hey, you know what? Maybe that's just me. Other than that though, I think I've said my piece. For the most part, regardless of whatever we get, I'm very much looking forward to this game, and I really do hope that this is one of the games that actually branches out and does its own thing and really sticks out from its usual, okay? Because anime games are so fickle nowadays that people are just so unwilling to give it a chance because, oh, it's an arena fighter, or, oh, it's an anime game, and they completely disregard it, which I don't think is fair, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with arena fighters, it's just that when they don't do anything fun or unique and the game doesn't feel good to play, then it kills the game. And even in the case of Demon Slayer, they simply just did not do enough fast enough to justify keeping the game alive, and that really, really sucks, okay? But I really want to see this game succeed, and if they were to do at least a couple of the things on my list here, I'll be super happy. If they do none of it, I'll live. We'll find a way. Maybe the game is good in its own merits, but we'll get there when we get there. Other than that, though, I've absolutely said my piece, so the mic is going over to you now, and you're going to go ahead and tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Are my hopes and wishes valid? Do you think that anything that I've wished for here on this list could make it into the main game when we get it, maybe this year or early next year? Or am I insane? I need to be hitting the head with a bat, and none of these things need to be present in this game whatsoever. Tell me anything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always, always, always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone, so thanks again, I hope you enjoyed. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.